The Gears of War Reloaded beta was really fun and honestly a return to form. It just felt like we were back, playing traditional Gears multiplayer in all its glory, and nothing hits like Gears does. But under all of that, I do have some big concerns to share as well. As always, I'm your host Abz, and here's my brutally honest thoughts and feelings of the Gears Reloaded beta, the good and the bad. In terms of what's good, it felt good, man, when everything was working as intended. Just that old school Gears multiplayer feel. The community was buzzing. Those old school Nasher fights that we've not really been used to with Gears 5. The slower movement, which is a change of pace, getting used to that again. King of the Hill chaos and carnage as it should be. OG Gridlock, the game that Gridlock was created for, right? Based on that specific weapon tuning. Canals was amazing to see again. Execution was really fun as well, and it's such a nice change of pace from King of the Hill. I honestly loved it. So it felt like we were back. TDM was okay, pretty standard mode. It's not peak Gears multiplayer when you're playing TDM, but it's okay I guess. The ability to take camera shake off, by the way, is amazing, and I love that feature so much. All characters in multiplayer are unlockable through progression, which is a big W. And yeah, the game has just given me that Gears multiplayer itch once again. I think what's helped me come to terms with this game is knowing that we're going to be playing it for just a year, and then E-Day will drop, which will hopefully be the game changer. If Gears 1 Reloaded was longer than 1 year, then I would start to get worried, cause there ain't no Gears 2 Reloaded, I'll tell you that for free. But anyway, let's talk maps real quick, and first and foremost, get a gold rush out of here, man. I do wonder if it would play any better in Koth, but on TDM it's just not designed for that game mode. Obviously the Gears 1 maps weren't designed for the modes that came in later entries, so it can change the way the matches feel on those old maps. OG Gridlock was fun overall. I think they added 2 new Koth rings to it that weren't in Ultimate Edition, which are in the towers, which is not too bad, but it does kind of promote camping, because then people just kind of sit there for a lot of the match. War Machine, brilliant all-timer map on any mode, basically one of my favourites on Gears 1. Courtyard for me is a bit of a ghost town on 4v4 because it's just too big of a map, honestly. Gears 2 Courtyard is way better, 5v5 snowy map, and mortar up top to flush people out of areas. Like on Courtyard in Reloaded, it's 4v4, and there's Sniper, Boom Shot, Hammer of Dawn, and Frag Grenades, so half of the freaking lobby has some sort of power weapons. The Hammer of Dawn has no limit, and in the beta there were multiple people using the hammer at the same time, which was really odd and so overkill. Imagine 2 people on your team having unlimited hammer strikes. Crazy, man. I don't know, if I was TC I would take 1 power weapon out of that map, or put a limit on the hammer or something. It's an OG map, it's okay, but for 4v4 it's a bit too big in my opinion. Canal's pretty goated as always. I do kinda miss the little hop onto the cover from near the torque bow that you could do in Gears 4, which used to be so smooth. But yeah, overall top tier map as we know. Raven Down speaks for itself, one of the GOAT maps. Close quarters and so fun. But in the full game, I'm looking forward to playing on Old Bones, Tyro Station, Mansion, that's gonna be sweet. Also, there needs to be a map vote in Reloaded. Let people play on the maps they want to play on. Simple. A very simple feature, which enhances the user experience tenfold. Because if the lobby skips a map, then the new map that's chosen might not be great either. Let's get a map vote in there, and if the vote ties, then randomize it. The matchmaking for me personally on beta weekend 1 was pretty horrendous overall, with only a good few moments, I'm not gonna lie. Day 1, I was stuck in the lobby for at least half an hour or more trying to find a match, and I couldn't even invite viewers to play with me. And when they joined, they would get kicked out, or it would say they're in my lobby, I would search, and then I'd end up with other people on my team. But finding a match towards the end of beta weekend 1 was fine, and weekend 2 was really smooth and fast. But although in weekend 2 you could find games quicker, I felt like I wasn't on EU servers, so my ping was pretty high, which was really frustrating, cause you just know how that affects the Nasher fights and so on. And I know many people from Europe said the same thing, so I know it's not just me. I think it would be nice to be able to see ping in game. Another change I want to see is that after the game, when you go back into the pre-game lobby, I think the teams should randomize to make things more exciting instead of leaving everyone on the same side, which gets repetitive. Also, instead of it being 4v2 in the pre-game lobby, just automatically switch one person over. Make it 3v3 and then the match can start, rather than waiting around for another few minutes. Another thing I noticed is that in UE Koth was in social matchmaking, so there was backfill whenever someone rage quit. In Reloaded however, it's in competitive, so in the beta people would constantly leave, and then it's a 4v3 or even 4v2 for the rest of the match, which is pretty shite and not fun at all, not gonna lie. Cause it's 4v4, you need your full team to be contesting point, so if people just leave constantly, then you're pretty much cooked. So there needs to be some backfill in COTH in my opinion, because in a lot of matches people would just leave. Also, I do wonder how many game modes will be in the final game. Now before I get into some issues of the beta, one thing that really disappointed me was the main menu, because it's just the same as Ultimate Edition. This is Gears 1 remastered. This will be the first Gears game ever for some people, so TC should have remastered the original main menu, because that's freaking Gears of War right there, not the clean boring UI that Ultimate Edition had. So that right there needs to change. I don't think they will, but I need to mention that. But in terms of the ugly side of the beta, it goes without saying that the hit registration is definitely off. The Nasher is inconsistent at point blank range, and there are many clips on Twitter showcasing that, but I know some clips it's just them missing it as well. I know some people are just missing shots anyway, but there are many point blanks that are missing for people, even when they're hitting all of their pellets. I feel like it's server issues and ping affecting it, but I'm not a game dev so I'm not too sure. I know some people don't understand that this is built off Gears 1 multiplayer, which was center screen shooting, so obviously it's quite dated. Oh yeah, also when you down someone you have to shoot them like 2-3 times with a Nasher before they die, which is really frustrating. It should be an instant kill unless you're way further out obviously. There's an issue with the long shot as well. Myself and others would get headshots when it looked like it missed, and then we wouldn't get headshots when it looked like a perfect snipe to the dome, so something's definitely off. I don't know why it's happening because I just played Ultimate Edition before making this video, and honestly the UE hit reg is way better. Also the boom shot, oh my days, it needs to finish people off. It's just not powerful enough. Obviously I know it was always like that for UE, but man, come on. It's basically pointless unless you get a direct hit. The splash damage radius needs to be buffed slightly in my opinion. You shouldn't be constantly getting downed with a boom shot freaking grenade launcher. That makes zero sense. They should be blown into nothing but bits, as our boy Marcus would say. Also teleporting, which is freaking crazy to say. Some people would be teleporting left and right, which is so weird, and I would chalk that up to servers and ping once again, which needs looking into ASAP. Another issue I noticed is that Reloaded has the same exact bug as Ultimate Edition, where on TACCOM some power weapons are glowing in white to signal that they're available, but when you go there and have a look, it's not even there. So that's really annoying, and I hope TC can patch that as well. But in terms of the Nasher, I do think it's most likely a server problem, because in UE when I play on European servers, the hit reg is great, but when I can't find a match in Europe, I play on US servers, and on there the ping is higher for me obviously, and to me it feels like playing Reloaded, so I'm starting to think it's a server issue, but TC will know best with that, so hopefully they can get that sorted before launch. Please TC, get that done. Another thing is that obviously it's Gears 1 so the movement is way slower, it's clunky etc, which is fine, but there are some covers where you just get stuck. I don't know if it's missing some cover links, I'm not too sure, but off the top of my head I know for me it mainly happens on Raven Down and on some of the vehicles in Gridlock, so I think it may have to do with the edges of covers for vehicles, so I'm hoping TC can have a look at that as well. I think they should look at all of the cover links and see if there's some missing, because I'm sure there are. I'm glad that the coalition are already listening with the feedback given, and that was made apparent by the changes made to Weekend 2 in terms of extending the beta, adding execution and canals in as well based off community demands, so that is a good sign, but I do think that moving forward, TC should always try to read the room first before making a decision, as prevention is always better than cure. Like for instance, someone had to know that ending the beta early on a Sunday when most people are off is not the greatest idea. Or for instance, someone had to know that Gold Rush is not ideal for the very first day of the beta, come on. Get exciting maps in there, create some hype for returning players and new players on PlayStation and PC. But yeah, I hope that more changes will be made, I hope they keep listening and addressing concerns, and I really hope they can polish all these issues before launch. We need a very smooth launch, and to be honest, there's no excuse, since this is an upgrade of a remaster, so everything was pretty much there already, and also lessons have to be learnt from Gears 5's launch on top of that. Otherwise it'll be really embarrassing for the Gears franchise once again, especially with those new multiplayer gamers ready to play on August the 26th. I hope some devs at TC are listening, and of course us Gears fans want the best for Reloaded, and the franchise in general, so we're rooting for you to deliver the goods. But yeah, that's my feedback for the Gears of War Reloaded beta itself. I am going to create another video giving feedback on the game and other things it needs. Please do comment down below what you think. Do you agree or do you disagree? And have you encountered similar issues? And let me know if I missed anything as well. Subscribe for everything Gears related, and a special thank you to those that support me further as always. I'm your host Abz, and I will catch you guys next time.